Welcome to season 3, episode 1 of Everyday Beam Struggle. We do whatever the fuck we want to do.
Yes, sir.
Y'all thought we wouldn't be back
Yeah. They really doubted us, bro. They really doubted. They said it's never coming back. It's canceled. Like we're done, finito, washed up, but we're back. What does that fucking say? Like what?
Bro,
what are you talking about?
We have been getting harassed for years. Win the beam, bro. Win the beam, bro. Get off my dick. It's here, bro. Damn.
I've been on like 2 episodes, bro. Niggas ask me. Like, I can't help y'all, bro. Like,
you know how long it's been since the last one, bro? I don't want to talk about it. It feels
When
like
was the last one? Does anyone remember?
Yeah, give it.
bro, Bush was president.
it was
like pre-COVID, so it had to be like 2019. Yeah.
2019. I'm not gonna lie, COVID. I feel like 2020 and 2021 is all blur to me. COVID,
Spaceship had just came out on VHS.
3 years ago. 2020 is 3 years ago. That's fucking
fuck. 3
Yo,
years since the last game.
next topic, y'all. Next topic. I'm about to go on.
All right. Yo, relax.
Bro,
let us be sad.
It's not about being sad. Time isn't real anymore, bro. We've been in the same year for 3 years. Nothing's changed.
We did get blipped.
Hey, look, it could be worse. There's a lot of people in the chat and a lot of people watching right now that like they just turned 21 during COVID. Like that's gotta suck.
They weren't even born the last beam struggle.
Skill issue.
Me personally, I will not go to prom on Discord. That's
turning 21 now. Are those
These motherfuckers had their graduation over Zoom.
Graduated during 2020, right? So that's sad, man. That's tough.
Yeah.
Funny.
Me personally,
That RNG for real.
Graduation on Zoom, like that's rough.
For real. One thing I want to do, because this season of Everyday Beam, we're going for a more consistent like cast for the most part.
Okay.
So I want to go down the list and introduce everybody. Afro send you myself, you know me, right? If you're on my stream, if you don't,
Who?
that's cool. Balvin, what's up, bro? How you doing, bro?
Yo, how you doing, man?
What do you do? Can I ask you that for real?
You can ask me that. Yeah. You know, I stream. You know,
Okay.
I tweet. I make content here and there. I talk a lot of shit. You know.
And he deals drugs.
Okay.
wow.
Whoa.
That is not true.
Nice. Okay.
Accusations.
My badge number.
Now Lotus. That kind of wraps it up for me. Hey, who Lotus? For you?
My badge number's in the description of every video.
Then we got the homie Lotus Asakura, but the Asakura, we call him Lotus, not the whole thing, Lotus. But talk to him. Talk to him. Anything. Everything. What's up, bro?
I don't want to talk to them. The smell.
21.
Then we got the one, the only legendary Moon Monkey. By the way, all the graphics you're seeing on my stream made by Moon Monkey himself. So hashtag Moon's the GOAT in my chat as well. Moon puts in double, extra, triple, overload, anything for the homies. So I wanted to shout that out real quick.
Bro, if you really want to fuck, I'll let you fuck.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sucking. I'm dick sucking, bro.
Right,
I'm
Put
sucking.
up the location.
Absolutely.
In any
Okay.
case, yes, I do
Glaze.
graphics. You know. So if you guys want to see
Actual
graphic creation,
children.
I do that on my channel. Variety streamer, you already know the vibes. You know the vibes.
White KTV.
Then last but not, well, it's not last at all. I mean, just
Fuck everybody
Count
else.
past 3. That's crazy.
we do
Still
we
like
do
4
got
more niggas.
the one and only, all right, Omega Pro in the chat, bro.
Yeah, what's good, everybody? It's me, Lil Zesty Ass. You know the vibes. Streamer, all that.
Little
Zesty, yes, it's crazy.
I do want to give lore. If it wasn't for Omega, I wouldn't have this mic today, bro. I had to have it because he said he wanted it, so I got it.
That is,
you got it
you've never made me smile more than that. Oh wait, Afro, do you know I got that mic now?
I do.
Yeah.
We're in it together right now.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? On Super Saiyan God shit.
Real
Is this
shit.
the same mic that you texted me to get to?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, I did.
Bro,
You
relax.
should.
Bro just randomly texted me, goes, buy this like thousands of dollar mic.
Don't you do that to everybody all the time ever with, hey, buy this
He's
5-figure
the king of that
item.
shit.
Cards that are this fucking mic, bro. Like, come on.
Pissed off because he got Afro and almost got me with the same stupid fucking shit. I still got a stupid arcade box in my garage open. Didn't at all. But this motherfucker convinced me to buy it. Yeah, the same shit, but he actually said his
Trey,
Ryan
thank you,
did
11.
me with that
Every time a
too,
new
as
one
well,
comes
too.
out, he still tries to get me to buy it.
Hey,
by the
don't
way.
get me started on Fogo de Chao, bitch.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Years ago.
That's a
You
classic.
gotta let it go.
They ain't never letting
You
that one
gotta
go.
let that go, man.
really
It's been like
do.
10 years.
He just found out he was having a kid. It was so fucked.
Yo, bro made me buy a fucking $80 fucking
Woo!
sandwich.
Bro goes to Fogo de Chao one time, becomes vegan. That's crazy.
Yo,
You did this.
For me.
That's insane.
That's crazy. But yeah, Omega Pro, shouts to the homie. Then we have the one and only. I don't know why to this day you never capitalize the R in your name, but rhyme style was good, bro. Yo,
You know
tell
you're the
him
reason why I don't do that, right?
I believe it. I remember
You
told me
pointed
that,
it
but
out. No, you pointed out like 2015 because I did it by accident. I'm like, you know what? I'm keeping this shit low case for as long as I can. You're the lore for that. You're actually the lore.
Did you beat Ragnarok?
That's crazy.
What?
Did you really didn't?
That is
No.
as close as machine.
Oh,
Like,
here's
he
the
has
thing.
to be God of War.
Here's the thing. I was playing it for hours and hours and hours. And I remember I texted D. I'm like, yo, I gotta be like halfway through. He goes, nah, you're like 10%. I'm like, huh?
bro, he hit me. It was like, I've been playing for so long, and then told me where he's at. I was like, I'm
Nah,
3 hours ahead
listen.
of you, and I'm like 40% done.
You hit me with the One Piece special. I'm like, I got 1,000 episodes left to go. Oof. I wasn't gonna play the background right now, but I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh instead.
That's fair. All right. Well, I was gonna hit you with a reference, but we got to do better, my brother. That's all I got to say, bro.
Got to
Capitalize the
stay
R
focused,
today.
my brother.
We can do it together.
Lowercase R. I'm tired of little people and little problems. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
Oh my
it could be worse. I could have a number in my name.
That fool.
All right. You know, I'll take this. Lesser of evils.
Does anyone, hold on, does anyone here have a number in their name? No, right?
No,
No,
bro.
not anymore.
Wow, Dion.
Not
Wow,
anymore.
Just making sure.
that's crazy.
Just making sure.
Well, hey, we got the person accusing his friends of being filthy. C-Reacts. How you doing, bro? Talk to him.
Hey, bro, I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. Trying to play some 2K with the boys, and yeah.
Oh,
Fasting
now you
today,
trying
guys.
to play
Staying
2K with the
healthy.
boys, huh?
Bro, I'm a little bashful. What can I say? I'm a little nervous around
bashful.
crowds.
Yeah.
Rumor has it, Dion pocket watches 1/5 of the trees. Mr. Beast. Fuck.
He tried so hard. There were words in there somewhere.
Crazy. I had something crazy, but I just couldn't get it off.
Yo,
bro.
Donnie Wild Thornberry's big fan.
Bro, reading that Porky Pig script. Holy shit.
All right. I'll be back. I'll be back, bro. For those of you guys who do not know, Dion is vegan, so there's gonna be a lot of vegan jokes occasionally.
I
Me personally.
I will hurt feelings. Continue.
All right. Fuck. All right, and then last but not least, for real this time. For real. Hold on.
Are you good?
I was eating wrong. Okay, last but not least, for real this time, we have the one and only Undershot, bro. What's good? Talk to him, bro.
Y'all know me. I've been around for 30 years. I'm that guy you don't watch anymore. How you guys doing?
Yo, what the fuck? Yo, this is the best time to beat through your black allegations. I'm just gonna say, like,
Why is
yours,
being
yours.
black an allegation?
it's not an allegation. It was like it felt like he was defending it, but you know, this is his chance. You know, to
Thunder,
say
are
what
you
it
black?
is.
Who's to say anymore, really? I don't know.
I think that he's light skinned, really light skinned.
Amen.
I got
Yeah,
wished
that's
I got
everybody.
wished Black History Month a lot a minute ago.
Happy
so it's-
Black History Month, Thunder.
Thanks, Moon. You too.
I like to call him Black Lightning sometimes.
You say
Everybody
Black
follows him
Platinum?
now. Black Platinum. You can see everybody. I don't know how everybody has their stream layouts, but as they come in and go, they'll be on the bottom of the screen. Anybody new who comes in that you haven't introduced to today, I will introduce them. So the hope is by episode 12, you kind of have an idea who everybody is.
I mean, we're trying to get back in the swing of things. I'm pretty sure once we start hitting our stride, it would be like we never left.
Exactly.
When we hit our stride, we gonna disappear again like the Avatar.
You feel me?
Y'all gonna get cozy and then we gonna leave.
All right, bro. That's it. Now there's no organization. What do you want to talk about?
All right, since there's no organization, if you guys want to invite me now, I'm ready.
I thought you were about to bring up a story or something.
I did too.
Bro, you
Oh
there's
my
no
God.
organization. I'm just trying to get
Fuck
in
it,
this.
fuck it, fuck it,
Selfish ass,
fuck it. I'll do it.
All
Seth,
right, go on.
Just hop into it, Seth.
Whoa.
Damn.
We're going right into
Oh,
it.
we're going big.
Well, if you want to
I'll
bring it
go right
up,
into it.
Ryan, give us
I'll
the
start with
lowdown
that.
real quick.
Go ahead, Ron.
I'll give the lowdown. Okay, so say basically, Seth the Programmer, a well-known power scaler.
Dork.
Don't know what a power scaler is if you're not really in this niche community that we.
Then you probably
kind
have a
of got our
girlfriend.
start in. Probably. But basically, you grab a fucking character from a franchise and you power scale them against a different character in a different franchise or a different character in the same franchise, whatever. And yeah, it's just as silly as it fucking sounds. Nevertheless, as innocent as that sounds, some allegations were made. I don't want to laugh. Starting with, I believe, I don't know his full name, but it's like Clyde some, made a video saying, "Why I don't work with Seth the Programmer." I believe Clyde's also a power scaler.
Yeah, his name is just Clyde.
Okay, just Clyde. And a bunch of, at the time, they were just accusations, but eventually they came to be pretty fucking true. A lot of shit, anything you can think of, racism, pedophilia, whatever you can fucking think of, that accusation was made, and I was like, there's no way, because like I looked at the list.
It's like he's just the most evil person of all time. Okay, for sure.
Exactly. Like I saw the mugshot, and it was like for.
I shouldn't be able to scroll.
I
was able to scroll the allegations. I shouldn't be able to scroll.
Can I add one thing?
Like patch notes.
Can I add one thing on the racism allegation? Because this is like, I guess, my small interaction with. Now, I looked at this different at the time, thinking he was a troll, because this is back in the iDubbbz era, where everybody who wasn't black had a buff to say why it's okay to say the N-word.
I remember that.
Yeah. And at the time as well too, I think I was in the genjutsu where I was just like, I don't care to fight somebody with it. So, you know, I would hear it and be like, oh, well, that's something, and just keep it pushing. I wasn't the regulator. As I'm older, I regulate more. But anyways, I remember me and my homie Kabuki, we got invited into Seth's Discord. Now this has so much more context now with everything that's being said.
I know what you're about to say too.
we went in this Discord. I said, what's up? And I heard a random voice like, that guy sounds like a, I was like, whoa. And then I heard Seth talking like there was a few other YouTubers that I kind of would want to say, but in the context of just focus on the one, I'm not. That we're also banging the word. And I remember Seth mentioned specifically, like, I'll debate you on why it's okay to say it. Like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay.
So
now getting the context, I get
bro,
that. He meant that shit.
What context did you need?
No.
Good.
The context that I needed was this was like, I thought it was a mask on, mask off situation.
Nah,
this
like,
nigga didn't take it off.
For real.
I know what Ryan or what Afro was saying, because at that time, like, it was the white boy solstice tag. Like, they was letting that word fly like crazy, bro.
They were, bro.
Sozin's comments for some reason.
and it's because of that dude iDubbbz, bro. Like he made white boys like power go up 100. Like, I don't know, it was crazy.
Yeah, he did.
That's nuts.
That's fucking insane. But yeah, that's
go
pretty
on,
much
Dion.
the lowdown in a gist. And most recently, or I don't know if this is most recent, but the last thing I saw, it was on a Keemstar stream. Basically, and this is what fucking, just to kick off, I guess, my stance on this whole thing. I don't know why there was such a big, like why did it take so long? Because he's literally like, within an hour, like they've gotten all the answers they fucking need. But like, they basically regurgitate the same thing. And he's basically saying like, yeah, I did this.
Yeah, I did that
blah,
shit.
Blah, blah, but here's my justification for it. And then I guess the argument becomes like his justification. But still, it was like, I don't know why it was a 6-hour stream of just fucking, you know, yelling and shit. It was, you know, I got my fair share of fucking low grade fucking human.
Wasn't his justification like, I said that shit, but it was funny?
No. Your justification was worse, bro. Like, it was bit by bit per allegation. Like Dion said, it was bullying, harassment, being racist, all that.
Everything.
The one that I was stuck on was he got ousted for asking a 16-year-old girl for nudes.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And Jesus. I remember the thing that he was, and mind you, in the screenshot, he doubled down. He not only asked her for nudes, he hit her with a return message after she responded to saying, "Come on, it's just me and you," type shit, right?
Like, here's my thing, like, I understand what the internet was like. So if you were a young person at that time, I could get like you saying the most crazy and heinous shit. Like, I understand that. Where you lose plausible deniability is when you're in a 16-year-old's DMs asking for news. Like,
bro,
that is different.
Double down is what did it for me.
So, and
but the thing
just so
was,
we know the age, he was 21 when he was doing this too.
Yeah,
it wasn't even like a situation where he was like 18.
This one was worse. Before, because Keem did all this shit where like he literally got a picture of his ID and everything. So it started out with God, I watch way too much of this stupid fucking stream.
Bro, yeah, wait, hold on, let me get my point before you, but I didn't get to finish it, wait.
Oh, I didn't know, bro. I thought I started and then you cut me off, but yeah, go ahead.
All right, I'm done. Go on. I probably did that. I probably did do that. Possibility. Go on. Go on.
I'll be quick. All I was gonna say is about that whole 16-year-old situation or whatever. He originally said he was like, yeah, I was like 19. Like he was like, yeah, it was bad. I guess I was legally an adult, but like I was like 19. She was like 16.
I guess.
And then like, in you know, that's bad, but I can see, I at least see what he was trying to say, but it was like, it's still bad. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? But then he sends his ID in, and then like it's like 30 minutes later, they find out like, oh no, you were fucking 21 at that time. Like, and then he was like, yeah, we already went over that though. I said I was like between 19 and 21. I was like, no, you said you was 19, bro. You didn't. Yeah. That's a huge difference.
That's the difference between possibly still being a high school senior and it's like, oh well, you know what I'm saying.
Like the difference between you were
and then being like, you graduated a couple of years ago, you still talking to high schoolers.
Exactly. It's like you could have been a junior in high school and they were a freshman or something, which is still, it's iffy, but it's like, okay, you're both in high school and then like maybe
a 19-year-old junior. What?
Bro,
I'm saying the age difference. The age difference is 3 years.
That nigga stupid.
One thing I thought was crazy. One thing I thought was
it's disgusting.
Yeah, but regardless, yeah, it's disgusting. But yeah, that's my piece on it. I don't know why it took so fucking long, so much back and forth, because he's literally like, yeah, I did this shit, whatever. Here's my reason. It was all stupid fucking reasons.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Well, one thing that I was like still like gone at is his justification for asking for the nudes. It was just like, yeah, asking for the nudes, but like it wasn't like I was trying to actually have sex or anything. I'm like, bro, you asked this.
That's
like,
not getting it. That's just not getting it.
And then he went the extra mile to say, you can call me a sexual harasser, but not a pedophile. I'm like, bro, that is not.
You see how this isn't okay?
I walked into the store with a gun, but I wasn't gonna use it.
He walked into that courtroom. He walked into that courtroom with, hey, I did all that shit, but I went there just a pedophilia thing. I didn't do that.
It's like, what?
Insane.
Bro. Well, one thing that I thought was crazy, and I might sound a little insensitive, but it's like one of those things you got caught, and I'm just gonna say it because it's just how I took it when I saw it. There was one guy in there, I'm not gonna say the name at the very least, who was against Seth the whole entire time. But then nigga said to know you, but you said the N-word. And he's like, but listen,
bro,
it didn't
that pissed me off so much.
Yeah, right.
That was like his retort to it.
Now, he was pretty much saying like, you're no different for some of the things you're claiming on him. And you know, he was like, bro, but like it's different because I was young or this, that, and the third. All this stuff, right? So then they get the proof that he said the N-word, and then he started crying. I'm like, no, you don't get a cry out of this, bro. What are you doing? Just apologize. That's it. Yo, own it up. Like, what are you doing, bro?
Bro,
the worst part about it is I was so young. I'm sorry.
The moderator for the whole situation is Keem, and he's talking about like, yeah, I got
like the worst moderator I can think of.
But we all did that. I'm like, no, we didn't.
No.
You know what's even more fucked up?
Like, I kind of feel for him. I'm like,
bro, Keem was the voice of reason the entire stream, which is crazy.
Yeah,
the fact that we're on Keem's side for the first time.
But like when he was trying to pull punches because he was like, yeah, I got canceled for some shit that everyone did that. I was like, no.
Keem's like every white guy said the N-word before. That's stupid. He's like, no, Keem. I think I speak for all whites when I say we've all said the N-word a few times. Am I right, everybody?
Yo, hold on. Yo, awesome. Skip me. Fight the other guy. Just give me background gaming. Thank you. All right, my fault.
Come on, dude. We all said it.
We?
Chappelle white boys.
Come on, dude.
Holy shit.
Hey, yo, Mega.
Smoked it.
Oh, y'all in the middle. When you're done with that game, you boy.
I got you.
I just realized the older I get, the more I realize that people just built different. Like the moment I'm 21 and I hear anybody that's lower than 20, I'm leaving you on red, bro.
Yeah. I'm gonna say a game theory that I'm gonna leave it at that because I have some opinions on like a few other people in that group. I just feel like that group itself was just like a dumpster fire. I don't know.
I mean, they're anime fans. Like, what do you expect?
So
retweet.
I got two things. Number one, when we call anime people weirdos, like obviously like not all anime people, whatever, but that is what the fuck we're talking about. There's too many fucking stories like this. Number two, from the little information, I was gonna say that from the little information I know about this, it feels like he was a dude who hung out in his own Discord a lot, where everyone sucked his own dick a lot. And the first time he got in an environment where people didn't give a shit about that he had YouTube numbers, he freaked out and didn't know what to do with it because they weren't just taking what he said as facts.
That's
right?
gospel, yeah.
That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
Like that is a dork who only knew people blowing him.
Moral of the day, I think anime YouTubers went down a little bit.
I think another bad thing too. I think like we have to talk about like a lot of, because I feel like a lot of content creators get caught up in this trap, and I feel like a lot of content creators, like, I mean, look, no offense intended or whatever, but I think a lot of content creator niggas are just losers. So you give a lot of these losers a lot of power and a lot of like influence and shit like that, and these niggas start acting out. I think that's what happened with this nigga. Like,
that is 100% true.
Like, he legit thought he was an anime pro tag. Like, yeah, I did it. Who's gonna stop me?
Like, he went out like Light
There was a
Yagami.
moment in that stream where he let out like a Light Yagami laugh, bro. Like, it was crazy, bro.
Like, you're so corny, nigga. Shut up.
I ain't gonna hold you. Y'all know me, right? Lotus can tend to be very judgmental off his first interaction with people, but Lotus has tended to be right. And I remember my first and only interaction with Seth was on Twitter. This was years ago. I don't even know if you guys remember this. Ryan made a tweet.
I was about to say, I know exactly where you're going.
Yeah, Ryan made a tweet talking about like how stupid power scaling is in Dragon Ball, and this was not about no YouTuber. Bro, this was not about a video.
No,
Ryan was just talking about.
It was a TFS quote, because when TN says power levels are bullshit and he fought Cell.
Yeah, you were talking about and you were just talking about this is stupid, right? And then Seth came out of fucking nowhere and started
my job.
Started swinging. It was like, oh man, you talking shit about me? You talking shit about my job? I was like, nigga, no one. First of all, who are you? Second of all, no one was talking about you, right?
Like, how dare you?
Omega.
So now I remember I jumped on the tweet and I was like, because this is my first time ever hearing about that nigga in the first place at that time, right? And I was like, there's no way this dude's ego is so ridiculously inflated that he thought from this random tweet talking about Dragon Ball, you were immediately talking about him.
Yeah.
And so of course he clapped back. And I actually looked back when I remembered that was my interaction with him. I looked back and those tweets are of course deleted by him. But I was like, all right, this nigga's a fucking weirdo and an idiot. So that was all I ever needed to know about him. And it only got worse and worse, clearly.
Also, the fact that, I don't know if y'all talked about or y'all knew about this, but this nigga like didn't research his own videos, didn't edit his own videos, didn't really do shit. He was just the voice.
Yeah, because the dude who
nigga had a quick Miller the whole time.
Did most of
all the work,
all of his popular videos.
And what's crazy is
he only got paid. That's when he did his own
according to the stream, he only got paid like 30 grand over the course of like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah,
meanwhile, the other dude made like $1 million.
Yeah,
that's disgusting.
What the only reason I even knew about him is from Swag's videos, Swag Kage. Like I would see him collaborate in those videos, and he was just kind of like the other voice, I guess. And honestly, a lot of it was just kind of like doubling down. Yeah. But when it came to his own content, I guess he just did, from what I understand at least, just did more or less the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question. Tired of anime fans giving loser ass niggas a platform. I'm gonna just keep it a break.
Hey, hashtag pack wash, bro. Get them out.
I have a question about this whole thing real fast. So as someone that's not as informed in this whole thing, there's one big thing I kept seeing like circulated about this, like, it was heavily at my point I want to make. Did he actually make someone eat shit? Did that actually happen?
I heard about that.
So what he said in the thing was, I mean, take it with a grain of salt because he was already losing at this point. But he said that the person offered to do it for Mod and he didn't say no. And then there was another thing. There's another person.
Guy stuck an ice cube up his ass.
Yeah, and he didn't say no. And I'm assuming both these people had proof that they did it, which is
basically create like a precedent. It's like if you do something ridiculous and like prove your worth, I'll give you mod.
You can get mod in the server.
So
and to give further context to like the nude stuff as well. Like
also Afro, turn up Alvin.
All right, bet.
Hello.
His argument was like, he was trying to get nudes from this girl to see if she was a girl for the Discord. Just think how convoluted that is, bro. So people don't try to get with a boy. That was his argument to doing
like
that for the girl.
Yeah, that's like 3 layers.
3 layers of fucked. Yeah, so okay.
That's in the stream. I'm 99% sure he was like, no, it was actually a boy. Like I think he was still,
as if that
like,
makes it like any better.
It's just like, bro, what's good with you?
So like the reason why I asked that question, and I didn't even know about the Ice Cube thing, the fact that even if he wanted to defend it as like I didn't, make them do it, but it was for a mod position.
You're creating a precedent.
But this goes back to what Omega was saying, is that it goes even beyond just like being a loser before getting a platform. It create like this amount of power you fall into being a content creator is way too much for some people. Coming from like not being a a big person in your own life.
I would say because what happens is these fucking loser ass niggas that had no friends and ate lunch in the bathroom stall at school find out that they can make YouTube videos and they can be somebody completely different from who they were in real life, manage to get a following despite being a complete fucking total weirdo, and then somehow they abuse their power like this.
Other nerds who don't know any better, follow up.
If you meet that description, I believe in you. You can come out of it. You can be a better person. All right, you're not. It's not over for you. Okay, just thought I'd throw that out there. You never know who's eating their lunch in the bathroom.
I think it's a curse when you blow up and you're that young, bro. Like,
yeah,
I think so. I think when you're that young,
I don't. In some cases, sure, but some niggas are just destined to be weird.
Depends on how you handle it.
Well,
it's literally just like I mean, it's obviously on a smaller scale with us, but it's like these Hollywood actors. Like, there's some kid actors who turned out just fine, but there's some who went off the rails. And like, obviously this is our generation's version of that, or it's like, to a smaller scale, because this didn't exist like 20 years ago. So literally, like, what we don't realize is we're like the test subjects, or like the guinea pigs for this whole content creation wave, because this shit didn't exist. Like, we don't have a frame of reference from like 10-15 years ago. We're the first of this. So like, what we do is gonna like show the upcoming generations like what the fuck can happen.
I mean,
to people who
my thing is like,
I feel like the problem is accountability, because like, let's be honest, like, the way how we talk now is different than how we used to talk in early 2000s. We was letting certain words fly, and part of growing is just like knowing accountability. Like, yo, what I was saying was wrong.
I think the thing,
No, some people acknowledge that, and some people still live like, what I've been saying is nothing wrong. That's how I grew up. That's just how it should be.
I also think that not only is it like us maturing, but also like society was way different. Like,
that's another thing too. Is that like
comedians, like what was regularly said like on regular ass TV shows compared to now.
Man, sometimes I'll be listening to some throwback songs and they drop choice words, and I'm just like, damn, we really just
Bro,
you drop a song with that word in it today, that's just not getting on the radio.
I was gonna say, if you grew up YouTube and Twitch, it's like you're able to garner power at a quicker rate, right? That it would be at a lot harder thing, I guess, for like Dave Chappelle and the things that we seen as kids, like what the media was then. It's like, I guess that type of influence was a little bit more harder to obtain, but now we're able to get it as kids and shit, right? So it really just comes down to how you're raised. I just don't think it's anything about like, what I'm saying, we're like the guinea pigs. It's just more so like, if you were raised in a certain way to where you feel like you want to abuse power to get back for something, or I don't know, some like something in your past that I don't know, that makes you like that, I think that's what makes people to be something like Seth, right? Because I know at the ages of 19 and 18 or 17 doing this YouTube shit, I had no like thought to put somebody down or do any shit like that, you know?
Now that you say that, like, I've been on YouTube since I was like legitimately 13, and there's nothing like.
No, I think.
Yeah, so you got a point there, Afro.
No, I think both sides are right in this. I just think like whenever you look at it from the perspective of like, I think objectively speaking, whether you're a child actor or a child content creator, kind of falling into this position of like notoriety and influence and power, whenever you're a younger, especially, even though God bless, none of us are like that, but it is very, very, very easy for someone that's already gonna go down probably a pretty bad path in their life to fall into this kind of power and abuse it. And it's not excusing it, but it's a common thread, right?
So do we feel like
that is a dude who weirdly got to the top and never got checked on the way up?
Exactly.
That's the best way I would say it. Like, it's more important to have good friends. Now, to be able to judge if you have a good friend is a little hard when you're younger, sure. But like, if you have people that are just agreeing to everything, that's a red flag.
Yeah, I think it's harder. Like, can corrupt people, or do you think? Like, so do you think being able to come into like getting a following like this and having this quote unquote power, it can corrupt people, or is it bringing up people's true nature? Because I feel like
I think
I would say, because I feel like there's definitely
both.
things that like I've experienced for the first time, thanks to content creation. Not having friends is not one of them. So if you were thinking you was relating to me, that ain't it.
Like, I think the right answer is that it's both, but just to be like. Just to like have a different opinion, I will say that it does have a lot of power to corrupt people that wouldn't have otherwise like done shit like that, because it's a very unique position you're in to like wake up one day, now you have like hundreds of thousands, millions of people like that are just like dick riding you. Yeah, exactly. Right. And everybody like dick riding, saying, oh yeah, you're right. Like, you're gonna start thinking you're right even if you're wrong.
And we're in the internet era, right? Where it's like, if you were a child actor per se, because you know how a lot of like people from our generation, a lot of them fall on the drugs and stuff like that, like in Hollywood and shit, right?
Yeah.
But with us, you have access to people now. Like your followers and your fans, you can press one button and talk to them on voice calls, or thousands of them. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Yeah.
Having
So
that
I
much
say this
access,
as a perspective of someone who like has access to several things, has a following and things like that, but it never, for me personally, like crossed my mind, or did I ever consider being that way or using what I have like in a negative fashion like that. So it's like, what possesses people to start behaving that way is like the thing that I don't really understand. Is it, were they always like that, or were they just more impressionable, and there was something?
It's a case by case thing.
Yeah,
it's very case by.
I also think
it kind of goes back to what I mean. I agree with Afro too, because it does go back into like your household, right? Because if you're 13 or 12, and having good friends is definitely important, but if you're 12 or 13, most of your friends are not going to have the guidance you need.
They probably think like you.
To handle it. Yeah, exactly. So like you need to have. I feel like if you're not having a healthy role model or somebody in your life to keep you on track at 12 or 13, 9 times out of 10, your friends are not going to do that for you at that age.
That's true.
Like,
I can agree with
especially
that, yeah.
especially with like content creation, because most of your friends, like they're not going to be in the same position as you, right? Like it's going to be one guy in a friend group with a lot of followers, the rest of just friends. You know, they're not going to know how to handle this place that we're in. So I think like it comes back down to how you talk to people and how you interact with people and stuff like that. And I think that's really important.
Now I want to ask you a question. Do you think that would then turn into an argument of having people in your life to help you use your influence? Like you don't necessarily have to use it. You can
because I was to say I don't think having a following or having influence over people is something that you necessarily have to make a concerted effort to utilize, right? Because oftentimes in the first place, I mean, it's for some people it's calculated, but for other people it's happenstance, I guess, right? While you kind of fall into it without really aiming for that specifically. And then what ended up getting you is just you being genuine and you being yourself. And if that's the case, in a lot of those cases, you're just going to continue to do that. It's like, well, just being myself is what got me here, so I'm just going to continue to be myself. And for some people that changes, but while I do feel like maybe there should, I mean, yeah, but like I guess some people definitely could benefit from there being, like, I don't know if you want to call it a service or what, but something out there that could help guide people and how to maybe not even necessarily use what they have, but understand what they have. Because I think that's another big issue as well, is where people aren't even aware of the influence or the power that they have once they get to a certain point, and so they accidentally do things. You know what I'm saying? Just out of like ignorance or just unawareness.
Yeah, that can happen.
I think I agree with that a lot, in that like I don't think there necessarily needs to be, I mean, it would be helpful to have some kind of like guide out there to guide someone through this, but I think it more so leans on what you were yearning for as a person whenever you're younger, especially because whenever I got into this like this content stuff, I wasn't really yearning for like friendship. I already had that, you know. I wasn't really yearning for certain things. Now, does that mean if you're yearning for that you need to moderate it and, you know, you need to be aware of like how you're going to be able to use said influence? Because even if you're not going around like promoting certain behavior or being this and that, your existence is influence at this point. Like you doing shit on the internet is influence.
But I think that is something. So sorry to cut you off. I think that is something I missed or like did not get, because I started YouTube at 19. I was like, no, it wasn't big, but like, you know, I had following and stuff like that at 20 or so in the Dragon Ball community. And thinking back, like me, like 20 to 22, I probably said a lot of really dumb shit that I absolutely would not approve of today. That just doesn't check out in any way, shape. But I didn't know any better. You know, I didn't.
We all, if you look back, we're like, I said some choice things that I would not say at this grown age.
I know back then I didn't think of having like any impact on the world in any way, shape, or form. Like it didn't register that I'm telling. If even 10 people listen to the thing I said and then go do it, I've done something. You know, that might be. Good.
Also, a lot of the time, like when you're not saying anything like maliciously, it's just like based off of what you hear on TV. Lingo. But it's your job to fucking like realize when, you know, as the world's changing, you have to change, you know, with the world. You can't just be stubborn in your ways.
I think this comes down to like content creation needs better role models, but the problem is like all these people, I don't want to say all of them and generalize, but like so many content creators, streamers, YouTubers, whatever, influencers end up being really shitty people. So it's like, who the fuck are you supposed to look up to?
Or don't look up to content creators. I don't
know. No, like, I get that, and I'm with that 100%. Because people shouldn't be put on a hold on. I just want to get this last thing off. I do feel like it is a huge issue that people put content creators on this huge pedestal and think that they can do no wrong. And when people look up to someone or enjoy that person's content, they treat them like they're a god, and like they can never admit to what they do.
I think
but I just last thing I just want to say, I was referring more so to content creators having other content creators to look up to, that they understand what they're doing.
Yes.
I think like in regards to like fans or like the viewers or whatever looking up to people, honestly, like as much as we want to say like, oh, like don't do that, whatever, like it's inevitable that it's gonna happen because like the content creator to viewer relationship is just inherently parasocial. We're way more personal. Like they just get a look into our lives that you don't get a look into like fucking Leonardo DiCaprio's wife or life rather, unless he's
whoa, wait a minute.
I was like, you looking Leonardo's wife.
Sorry.
Yeah, no,
I agree.
Yeah, and I agree too, because like it's really easy to say that, but when you think about it, like we haven't been in fucking like middle school or high school in forever now, right? But kids now and that even younger than that,
back's cricking.
They're gonna be
high school anniversary.
They're on their phones during class talking about like big streamers now. Like
yeah,
they're talking about like they're not talking about I mean, there's probably still convos about like regular like music and movies and stuff, but a majority of it, what did Kai do last week? What did so and so do? Who's live right now? That is this generation's like, that's their inspirations right there. A lot of them.
But even still, like we probably didn't have like streamers, but we definitely had like rappers and stuff, and people were still looking up to them. Music artists. There was different like people in the public, and it was up to you to discern. So I don't know if that's really much of an excuse. It's still like,
but you didn't get to know them
personally. Like
I couldn't watch 50 Cent like every day and see what he thought every day.
Like one of the biggest problems with this space specifically is there's a lot more chatting that a rapper just doesn't do. It's like people are going to stream for hours and hours on hours, and the people that are sticking through it are going to start taking the lingo. And let's say they even go into Discord, right? They're going to start, like taking any advice they say about life to heart. It's like there's just natural levels of influence that you just can't ignore. So I feel like because that's going to always exist with this platform, there does need to be better, role models out there. Because, for instance, like if you want to say it on a small degree, not saying that this is like a bad thing, for instance, but you got people like on Miskiff's stream or even on Aiden in their stream, like they have like the basic thing of like saying W or poggers everything, and then doing that and spamming it other places. Right now, it's not a bad thing, but imagine if someone goes the extra mile and has a habit that's clicky, that is a little bit more toxic, and they start spreading it. I feel like it's like you got to be careful of what you're putting out there.
Especially when you're young, bro, because like whenever you're 12 or 13 or 14, you're really impressionable. You're really vulnerable and susceptible to mold yourself after your idols, right? And I think a lot of it, not to get into parenting and stuff like that, but if I come home one day and I'm a kid and I want to escape, I want to get away, I'm gonna probably go watch my favorite fucking streamer because I can connect with him in my mind every single day. I wish it was different than that, and I wish I could say, yo, you probably shouldn't look up to these guys if you don't know them. But unfortunately, I don't have access to tell over 1 million kids that, Like, so the reality is, people just have to be better people. Like, that's what I think.
That's my main point. I was trying to say, like, it shouldn't even be like the creator. It should be the onus, like, and like just like us using this platform to like our fan.
Kraken, thank you so much. 25 gifted.
Sometimes you're gonna have to be able to.
Sorry, I can't talk to chat too much. We're balls deep in the beam.
I guess like it's obviously gonna be easier for people to.
Thanks a bunch, man. Appreciate the continued support, homie.
Then like people had like the snowman shirts. Like it was kids like we were like in high school wearing the snowman. Not even know what the fuck that shit meant. And people were like throwing up and like a lot of times like we're probably looking up to a lot of artists doing things and things like, oh, this is what they be, because that's what we looked up to. Obviously, it's a lot easier because like we have that connection, but this time around, I feel like it still has to be, regardless of the era, it still is up to the person, because some people, not everybody falls into that, oh, this is my god, this is my king, this is...
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. I guess that's why it's even...
At the end of the day, though, like, the thing that I feel like should content creators feel this responsibility to, like, pretty much, like, raise their audience or whatever, like, yeah, I don't want that responsibility either, but that is inherently something that comes with it, like... If you're gonna be
there's also just certain
like,
things that should be like standard.
But I also think we have a responsibility to tell like, yo, chat, think for yourself. Like, and I feel like
yes,
it's the same space. Yes, in the same space, people are gonna look up to us regardless of what we say or do. But I feel like it's our job as content creators to also say, chat, be your own individual.
Yeah,
like,
that's fair.
I agree.
But you know what though? But that's still us influencing them. But But you know what's funny though? Us telling them to do that is still us influencing them. You know, like us saying to be your own person is still influence.
But it's influencing them for them to have themselves interests.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. But it kind of goes back to the point that we're gonna do it regardless. Like, it's like even if I say go be your own person, we still are giving them their track.
Yeah, whether willingly, unwillingly, knowingly, or unknowingly, like it's gonna happen.
And again, like you said, I'm definitely not in the mindset of like I want to raise people that watch me, but like it's just being more mindful, like shit that you say and do will definitely impact somebody's like decisions. And the thing is, this is us. With this convo, it's kind of hard because like I think to larger scale than just us, to the guys that have like 50,000 people watching them all the time. You know what I mean? Like that reach is way larger. And I remember whenever I was young, bruh, I'm glad I didn't have this. Like, because it would be so hard to fall in the trap of like mimicking these guys. Because I know being a kid is hard, dog. Yeah. Like, it's really fucking hard, especially after like COVID and like the kind of environment we're growing up in nowadays. Like, streaming is a really big escape for some people, and I know kids are really, really like liable to you know mold themselves after people like that.
Do you think? Do you guys think that being, let's just say, like a streamer is now more influential and more and people are more impressionable and susceptible to that than like being a rapper, like when we were younger?
Even the rappers and going live on Instagram.
Yeah, because like I think back to like all the music I grew up listening to, like all my favorite artists and stuff are like big druggies and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But like I've never tried drugs. I don't even drink alcohol, you know what I'm saying? So like me growing up, like even though that's this type of stuff I was listening to and that's the type of stuff like a lot of my favorite artists were into and talking about, it never interested me to try it. But there are other people who are more susceptible to that. But it feels like kids these days are way more susceptible to mimicking or copying like the streamers and stuff.
You remember bunking?
I think
that was an era.
Crazy time.
That was an era. It wasn't
time.
just him. People would watch him and do the exact same shit.
Yeah.
Wait, who?
Bro, I remember, bro, when people started eating Tide Pods, I knew it was over.
Yeah.
Do you know the new thing now? They're literally boiling chicken in Tylenol.
Oh, yeah, I seen that shit.
Yeah, that's the new thing.
I did hear about that.
NyQuil. They're
NyQuil
like
or
sauteing
something,
chicken in NyQuil.
So back to the original question. I think back when we were, they were living like a super, like when we would look up to musicians or artists or whatever, they were living, or even movie stars, such a like much less obtainable life that it wasn't realistic. So you could hear people, you know, singing about doing whatever or rapping about doing whatever, and knowing that like, okay, I don't do this, but whether you're living vicariously or not, you're just doing it because it sounds good. It doesn't seem realistic at all. What streamers do is so much more personal, but also so much more obtainable. Because like, you know, they're just talking or playing games or doing this. But then if they talk about like, and I do coke on the side or some shit.
Well, the thing is also, like I say, because like even teenagers, right? I feel like obviously as you grow older, you mature more and your brain develops more. You're able to think more for yourself and make these conscious decisions. But music got like a lot more personal for me, a lot more relatable. Like we all have songs where you hear a song and it's like, damn, this song sounds like it was made just for me, right? And then so that artist then becomes very relatable for you. And I think it is similar, I guess, to how people become so close and develop these parasocial relationships with streamers and whatnot. But again, I guess like the influence people take away from it is like different person to person. But I don't know. It's just interesting to me because the stuff I see a lot of people mimic and copy from streamers just feels like common sense to not do, but I guess it's everyone. I don't know.
Can you like drop an example or something?
What do you guys think, aftermath wise? Do you think obviously, like, I think there's always going to be some stands who, like, regardless of what somebody does, they're just like whatever, and they're gonna let it fly. Do you think, and this is just predictions at this point, do you think like he just comes back and just never addresses it and just keeps making content?
The thing, okay, so
addresses
here,
it or takes a hiatus.
All right, so I'm about to spit on some shit, because here's the thing: it doesn't matter what the fuck you do. Like, there's just dick riders that just dick ride.
Do you know people are still standing R. Kelly right now?
EDP even?
Yeah.
There's gonna be people saying like, oh, fuck cancel culture, despite the fact that this nigga legitimately tried to solicit nudes from a girl who was underage while he was 21.
100% chance.
If he wants to, he can come back and still have a career like nothing happened.
People are absolutely going to be in his replies and comments like, oh, I think I speak for everyone when I say we all make mistakes and you're fine, keep doing you, King. That is 1,000% going to happen because it always happens.
I have never seen anybody get successfully canceled without the content creator themselves stopping.
During that stream, there were people literally defending him like, no, I didn't do that shit. Despite him being on the stream saying, yeah, I did all that shit. I'm just not a pedo. But the people watching in the chat were like, nah, I didn't do that shit. That doesn't sound like
actually
it. But he's admitting it. He is admitting it.
Another fucked up part too is a lot of niggas in the anime community are exactly like Seth, so they don't see no problem with what he did regardless.
Man. Half of them have like, you know,
It's
girlfriends in high
just
school
so hard to
pulling up
wrap
on their
my
fucking
head
pickup truck.
around.
Bro.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. well, one thing I want to ask. This is kind of like a segue. I don't want to actually segue too crazy. This is a little disrespectful. But did you guys hear about the deepfake issue with that one streamer?
Oh
yeah,
my god!
It wasn't just one streamer. I think it was multiple.
In the
there's like
thing
a
itself.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah,
the one streamer who kind of like made it.
No, I'm talking about the streamer who got caught. The streamer who got caught doing it.
Yeah, you meant like on the website. I was like,
oh
yeah,
no. Bro,
what I fucking heard.
Who wants to break it down?
Okay, so pretty much what happened is that there's a streamer by the name of Atrioc, and he was live streaming one day and then did like the alt tab thing where you see all your windows, and then in one of those windows was a site of that apparently had a bunch of deep fakes of streamers. Now, for those of you guys that don't know what that is, a deep fake is pretty much like you can train an AI to learn somebody's face. Like for example, you could have it learn Elmo's face if you fucking wanted to or whatever, and you could put that face on anything you want to. So what people did is they took a lot of female streamers' faces and superimposed them over like pornographic videos, and this streamer was caught looking at that, and that spawned this whole thing where now like thousands and thousands of people that didn't know this existed before now have access to this and know exactly what site to go to. And it opened up a whole can of worms.
What's crazy is
got taken down.
But I guess it's gonna be up somewhere else.
Yeah, there's gonna be.
It already
What's crazy is I thought he was just some random like small streamer. It turns out he's like Ludwig's best friend.
Yeah,
which is crazy. And he had like Ludwig's like girlfriend on there too on the site he was looking at.
Ludwig's girlfriend is on that site, and it's fucked up too because Ludwig's girlfriend has actually like spent thousands of dollars every month to wipe deep fakes and all that stuff from the internet, and then like here comes one of her friends kind of exposing that this stuff not only exists but exactly where to get it too. So it's just very fucking violating. And the fucked up part is, before you ask your question, I just have to say this shit like off rip. Like if you were one of those types of people that said, oh, like I don't see why this is a big deal, blah blah blah, whatever, this is one of the most like violating things that like these women can go through. Like you simply could never even begin to comprehend how this shit must feel. Like keep your dumbass opinions to yourself. If every woman on the fucking internet is saying like this is disgusting, mortifying, I feel violated, maybe fucking listen to them.
I would say maybe if there was videos out there with their face on a body getting fucked in the ass, and maybe they kind of start to get an understanding of why this is a big deal.
I don't know how many of you niggas this has
Michael, they get 15, man.
People have DM'd me pictures of them like with my stream up and nut on the, like that
has happened to me.
What?
That has happened to me on Instagram.
On the monitor while I'm streaming, and it was like I just did not respond to it because that felt weird. Now I can't imagine somebody like imposing like putting that to that extent. I feel weird. So like
that's insane.
Yeah,
and it's a whole other level of fucked up too with that Atrioc situation, because that site was paywalled, so you had to pay to access that content.
That's what I was gonna ask you. So that was a thing, because I heard someone saying like, so he got caught. I remember someone said that he said that in the first apology, he made it sound like it was like a porn ad.
So he said that he clicked on a porn ad on Pornhub.
Yeah, he said he was curious.
Which that doesn't. First of all, those ads don't exist on Pornhub because Pornhub is strictly against revenge porn and all sorts of AI deepfake porn. So they do not serve ads on that. So that was a lie first and foremost. And all right, whatever. And then because like I guess he does this thing where like he's really into like ads and AI and stuff like that. So that's kind of like was his defense. That like, he wanted to see like how this ad like worked or how the AI site worked or whatever, and so I then I guess his wallet fell out of his pocket and then paid for it. So I don't know.
I talked about this on my stream the other day. We were talking about dick riders earlier. That will ride or die with you for whatever, and I was bringing up those exact points, and then somebody came in and said, well, he probably wasn't actually jacking off to it because the company and like the stream that he does has to do with AI stuff, so he was probably just researching. I was like, you were not being serious.
Research, gotcha.
The lengths people will go to try to defend people are insane.
But you know what's crazy though? Even hypothetically, in whatever universe he might have just been researching, it's still weird. Like, it's still weird. I don't give a fuck if he was beating off or not. Going through that links to find that shit and paying for it and looking
supporting
up
it,
of your peers, of women that you know. Especially, it's weird in general.
Yeah.
Flatline.
And here's another thing too. I saw a lot of takes that said that this was only weird or primarily weird because he knew the girls. The fact that the deepfake AI porn shit exists at all is what's
already
really
immoral.
weird.
That
it's
just worse that he knew.
Fundamental.
Yes. It scares me because it makes me think of like other possibilities. Like, we're gonna get to some point in the future where like motherfuckers are like framing people with AI. Like, oh yeah, he's the one who
yes, 100%.
shot up this fucking, you know, I don't know.
Dog. Speaking of which,
on there. Like,
speaking of which,
creepy.
I don't know the details of it. I saw Moist Critical's video earlier. There's a guy who recorded himself basically being live for, I don't know, X amount of hours.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And then, okay, so he went live, but it was actually just a recording. But it looked like he was live. And the entire time he was live, he was talking about, like, chat, I can't respond. If I bring up chat, my chat will crash. So he's just playing games casually. But he wasn't actually live. He was out killing somebody.
Yes.
And then,
and then the alibi?
Yes.
Whoa. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
That's insane.
That's nuts.
And the only reason why the cops even thought to like go look again is because they saw some shit on CCTV that was like, wait, this is kind of weird, champ type. So he almost got away with that shit.
Wow. That's actually insane. I gotta watch that video.
But man, I feel like AI in general, man, that shit.
Hey, they gotta police that shit. They gotta police that shit.
Imagine if this whole thing happened with Seth and Seth could have been like, nah, that wasn't me. Like they just AI deepfake that. Like, there's a lot of
he did try to
happen.
imply shit was fake.
Yeah,
the screenshots were fake.
He had his quote unquote lawyer in there. He was like, 90% of this is fake. I'm like, he already admitted 70% was real, motherfucker. You can't come in here now saying it's fucking fake. Get a better client, dumbass.
Judah, this is the worst game I've ever played. Don't look at this as my normal performance,
bro. I mean, this type of shit has been around, and like now it's getting worse. Because I'm pretty sure, like, we've all seen people like take, like popular like singer artists, like, oh, new Britney Spears nudes, and then like they just like do shit like that. It's like, why?
Yeah, like Photoshop. But now it's to the point where they could like replace
put on porn stars.
Videos.
I saw somebody put like the girl from Frozen on a, like, this looked so weird. Like it had like a CGI head on a human's body, and it's like the fact that we're at this point, nah.
But that's the thing. Like, it's like, how do you? I agree, it needs to be policed, but I'm like, how do you police it?
How do you police? Yeah,
hold on. Going back to both these stories, here's a big question though: redemption. How do you feel about redemptions? Like, what can someone do?
I feel like
here's the thing: when someone fucks up, not talking about issues specifically, when someone fucks up, I feel like everyone should get a chance to get like a second chance depending on what they do.
I don't think everyone deserves a second chance.
This story that we're on,
this story on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, these last two stories we're talking about are not the two stories you want to roll into redemption off of.
That's what I'm saying. I don't specifically see these two in general.
I think one thing about the internet is like your shit is gonna live on there forever, right? So not only does it matter on a case per case basis, but like I ultimately think if you get exposed for some crazy shit, you're just fired. Like you can still be a good person in your real life, but that doesn't necessarily mean you need to be a good person on the internet anymore. Like we've seen what you've done forever.
Here's what I think like it's gonna depend on obviously what the offending case is, and then also how they responded to it. I think matters a lot. Like the way that Seth responded, bozo forever, no coming back. Like he may have had some plausible deniability with some of the things he said, but the extent that he went to, and then him on that Keem interview or whatever, he's gone. Like that, like there's no coming back from that.
Yeah.
I also think like it kind of goes back into a point earlier Omega made, but like I feel like redemption and stuff like that is not only is it case to case, but it doesn't matter to some people, because for some folks, like we talked about earlier, there's people that are not going to give a shit what anybody does if it's a certain person, right?
Yeah, right. And there's a lot of, I feel like there's a certain creator we could kind of throw into this who hasn't done something on the level, but is a very good example of somebody who having a lot of influence and not necessarily knowing how to properly utilize that, and not taking certain accountability for some actions, and someone who everyone acted like he was about to lose his career, but it's like, no, nigga, because y'all are going to dick ride him and support him no matter what. And I actually like this creator. but I very much not like how he handled a certain situation. But
I don't want to know what you're talking about, but you don't.
Yeah, that segue crazy. I'm scared, bro.
I know.
Well, I'm talking about Kai with the whole situation that happened at that party.
Yeah.
And you know the fucked up part is I thought of 3 different creators.
I thought of
Yeah.
like 50,
that
bro.
fucked?
I thought of a bunch of people. That's really sad.
This is disgusting.
But yeah,
I mean, one, this is not because you all but one, I mean, fucking Keemstar. Like, Keemstar has been around for 20 years, bro. You know how much shit he's done?
Some of the worst shit ever.
He's one of the most heinous shit.
He's back to back.
Yeah, no, and in all reality, like if Seth wanted to just act like this shit didn't happen and just keep making videos like everything is everything, there's still gonna be thousands of people who watch him anyway.
Unfortunately, time is literally going to be like the biggest like forgiveness factor, because then at some point it won't be, oh, isn't this guy that found the AI? It's gonna be like, it's like,
oh,
what
glad
did you
you're
do again?
back, man.
They won't like.
He's that one guy who did that one thing.
That one thing.
Hey.
What the fuck was that Pokemon streamer who just came back as if nothing happened? Nappy, right?
Nappy.
Bro.
Dude, he came back to the stream as if nothing happened.
It was the night before Christmas, bro.
Oh man.
Not a hot bro. What?
And the thing is, the only reason why he even lost viewership is because he went away for so long. Like, people were begging for that dude to come back when he like made his original, when he stopped uploading or whatever. Niggas still wanted him to come back despite the heinous shit he did.
But you know what also kind of sucks though on this topic of redemption? I feel like with how social media and like social persecution, I'll call it, has been like perceived now, there's not even really a level of, there is no nuance anywhere now in any conversation, right? So like, for example, the Kai thing. I think Lotus said it perfectly. I don't think what he did was like, you know, what is bad as some other folks.
We're not
have
going
done,
into the
but I was
Heavenly
also
stuff, but
very
Heavenly was
disappointed how he
legitimately
handled it.
accused
It
of
was
rape,
very-
so
it was
please don't come in here and tell me
very
he's not
disheartening
evil,
to
he's
see
just
how he
dumb.
moved in that. But if you say that, a certain crowd of people are gonna be like, "Why are you attacking him? He did this. Why are you? Why he?
Like,
he
he's
did
not the one who did it. It's
wasn't
like,
him.
yeah,
He didn't
you
do
don't
it."
understand.
But it's like, but bro, it's like, I'm not saying he did it. I'm just saying like he needs a level of criticism is not gonna kill him, right? Like, but we're in this environment, this climate now that everyone thinks any like sort of like, I don't like what this guy did, is automatically, it's cancel culture. Why are we? He's a kid. He's young. He's this and that. It's like, bro, do you not want your creator to grow?
I would
like,
say no. There's a difference
Yeah.
between trying to teach people accountability and then like making them seem like they're the spawn of Satan.
There was another dude, I don't want to bring it up, but there's another dude that be like doing some wild shit, and it's like, yo, but he's only a teenager. Like, bro, that shouldn't be the go-to excuse.
I'm so sick. By the way,
we all know who we're talking
We all-
about. So sick and tired of them. They're just a kid.
True,
shit.
true.
He's just a kid. I was like, bro.
At what
Even
point
when
do
I
we
was that
start
age, I was
holding
thinking like
people
that.
accountable and teaching them to be better human beings?
Bro.
True.
Well, hold on. What about Brother Nature?
Sayu.
Brother Nature,
I
he
forgot about that dude.
he got.
Holy shit.
Well, no,
dude.
here's why I'm bringing this up, because Brother Nature got canceled for shit he was tweeting when he was literally 12. Like, he was actually 12 on Twitter.
He was a
got
dickhead.
canceled.
He has some dickhead
He got
shit.
canceled because there was like a whole, a whole scenario that happened. He was at like a restaurant. Apparently, he was just being an asshole or something like that. I don't
No,
know.
that's another situation. I'm talking about the first time he got canceled because people dug up his
I
tweet.
wasn't there for the first time.
He got canceled. I didn't even know any of this.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, and then he got-
they dug up some wild tweets from he
then
was
he
literally like
got-
12 or 13 years old, and everyone was like,
I
oh,
just
we
thought
don't
he
talk
stopped
about
feeding
this anymore.
Canela and then just died out. I was like, oh, okay.
But no, but I'm pretty sure. I know about the old tweets thing, but I'm pretty sure like that was one instance, and people kind of moved on from that. I'm pretty sure it was
Yeah,
the restaurant
yeah.
thing. The restaurant thing is what really got him out of
Yeah,
here.
it was a
Even
restaurant thing, and that's crazy. That was like 4 years ago now.
Yeah, but I think a lot of his clout that he garnered at that time was hanging out with like FaZe and them. So when that came out, they just stopped hanging with him. So
Yeah.
He also was like known as like the happy, positive guy of the internet, right? And then like he got in a video of him getting his ass beat for being an asshole.
And it turned out it was his fault.
First, and then getting his ass
beat. Yeah, and then
he
like,
got his ass beat too. I didn't see that one.
You
Damn,
didn't see
he
that?
got canceled
Bro,
for
that
real.
nigga-
That's crazy.
that nigga he got fucked up.
Hold on, what
It was rough for him.
just so everyone's on the same
was
page.
looking
What
at
all
some difference
happened
for
in that? He was like being an asshole, someone, and then he got his ass beat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like
And then he tried to spin it on his side, but then the real story came out.
this was a fucking Keem production as well.
Keem
production.
I fucking remember
But
this
yeah,
shit.
he lied about what
had them
happened.
on like the phone. He got
So-
on the phone with the dude who he fought or whatever.
Yeah, he
No,
lied
real
about what
quick,
happened.
real quick. we do have the famous legendary voice actor Sai. I don't
Sai.
know if I can say the other name.
Yeah,
we
you
have
can say
Sai.
it. You can say
All
it.
right, Kagi Films, Alejandro Saab, aka Sai. You, what's up, bro? Tell the people something.
Bro,
Yo, what's
that's
up?
crazy. That's crazy. Just remember your intro saying like whatever the heck you want to call me, and now you really have 19 names. It's fucking.
I'm saying,
insane.
bro. Yo, you know what made me so
shit.
happy to see, bro?
You know?
Oh, by the way, if I can't remember where you're going. Your recent meetup. Did you meet a guy named Zeke? Ty?
He's like, yo, I meet so many people. You have to be more specific.
Probably. Did you meet someone that says something about me or no?
I mean, yes, I had a couple of people.
Oh, I was about to say.
Okay, never mind. Then there's no way for me to nitpick that. But yeah, I saw your thing with all the characters you voiced, bro, and it's like every time I see, it's just so many more.
You
bro.
are
like,
dick riding, bro. I'm not gonna
yeah.
lie.
Riding his dick.
Dick rode you. I dick rode Moon.
Nah,
I'm
yo,
keeping it
hey,
consistent. All right?
We always dick ride the homies. We always dick ride the homies.
True. My boy Sai doing big things. All right.
And we proud of him. And we proud of him.
You're
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh,
Are
you shocked? Are you shocked that I'm dick riding? Are you serious?
My fault.
Yeah,
You got
check
it, bro.
those out.
I forgot where I learned these moves from, bro.
Dick riding dick, bro. What the
Yo,
fuck?
actually, I'm very glad Sayu is here because I would like to segue really fast to another
Oh,
topic.
dear Lord.
Kind of.
I'm scared.
Kind of, but it kind of plays into what we were talking about the AI stuff. So
Oh,
did y'all see the AI voice acting thing happening recently?
Yeah,
you're
talking about the Elden Ring thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I didn't. Break it down.
Okay, so there was a video that
Big Nar, thank you for the 5. Appreciate it.
But there's a video on Twitter going viral right now of like someone on Twitter took Ronnie and Melania's voice, put it in an AI cloning thing, and posted the clips on Twitter, and it sounded a lot like them. And the point of their tweet was like, this would be great for modders to like, be able to create much more in depth and creative mods with dialogue, because now AI voice cloning is getting so good. You can create like really cool mods now.
Yeah.
And there were people that were like, there's the two sides to it, right? It's like that I've seen at least. It's this is really cool for creation and art, and this is like really cool for mods. Then the other side is like, but what about voice actors, and what about paying people to do this for you, or what about the consent of the voice actor themselves not giving you consent to use their voice for something that they're not doing, right? And I saw a lot of takes on this. I haven't spoken about it yet, but I feel like I don't want to put you on the spot, Sayu, but considering that you're our voice actor here, I would love to hear your opinion. Everybody else on that.
Excuse me, I also did the voice of Puss in Boots and the W Awards.
Shout out to W Awards.
I was there when you guys fucking debuted that shit. I was fucking dying.
Shout out to W Awards.
You were just gonna play the trailer, and then these motherfuckers voices.
Shout out to W Awards.
Hilarious.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sai.
No. You're fine.
We got 2 voice actors in here.
That's crazy. Well, the thing is, that's what Omega did is called voice matching, which is what usually what you do when you can't get like the original actor to come back for the fucking part because either they're too busy or they're too expensive, right?
Ain't no way you hit the actually on Omega like that. That's crazy, bro.
You a voice matcher, nigga. You ain't no voice actor. You a voice matcher, nigga. You ain't up here with us. You a voice matcher.
Hey,
Fuck, bro.
you still, dude.
Said you a stunt double at best.
Pay really well, so I'm not.
You're a great voice matcher, matter of fact.
I'm saying, bro. I need you to dialogue my biography. Let's talk about it, guys. Outside. How much, bro?
To what?
I don't know what I said, to be honest. I didn't expect you to hone on that filler speak, bro. That was like rhetorical, bro. Like, relax.
Yeah, how do you feel about that shit? Like,
What up, Ateki?
It's weird because it's like it is absolutely violating. I mean, like it's like the thing that is happening with the fucking Twitch streamers, right? Like it's just they never consented to the fucking thing. It's just weird. Like I understand what people are trying to do because sometimes like I've seen on Twitch and I've seen on just like YouTube and TikTok where people like use these AI things for like a funny little gag or whatever. But the problem is it's getting to a point where it's getting really good. And it can be
you can easily get someone in trouble with that shit.
This shit went from like drawing like, silly Abby, fucking Twitter profile pictures to fucking recreating entire scenes and like matching voices in like 3 seconds, bro.
Like, I don't know if you guys saw, I literally saw a clip of someone taking dialogue, like
taking Roger Craig Smith's voice and replacing the Chris Redfield actor in Resident Evil 8, but it's all the dialogue of Resident Evil 8, but with Roger's voice.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
and
so
I saw. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I mean,
No. It's just like, I get what folks mean because it's like, oh, we just want extensions of the games and it's just a bunch of it's a bunch of gamers wanting to make content for people and just a fun experience, right? But they don't take into consideration the ramifications, right? Because someone could literally take the fucking voice, and people have done this already. That's the crazy shit. Because people have taken like dialogue from people, even YouTubers, and just recreated saying heinous fucking racist shit.
Right.
And people have had to come out and say, it's like, hey, yo, that is not fucking me.
Right.
So yeah.
That's what I was wondering. Is like, what's stopping somebody from just like taking my voice and making me say some of the most ridiculous stuff ever?
Because there's no policing. I saw two things that creeped me out. One, it was cool at first, but then you watch it again, it's like, that's fucking creepy. Basketball fans, you guys are gonna know this one. You know the shot, you know the Michael Jordan, the shot.
Yeah,
his most iconic fucking shot. Somebody, I guess, used AI to like make it that he missed the shot, and like literally everybody in the scene was like fucking like completely altered. So like everyone on what was it? I think it was Cleveland, right? Or was it Utah? I fucking forget. Nevertheless, LeBron the GOAT. But the other team that was supposed to have lost starts cheering. Everyone in the audience starts cheering. It's in like the exact frame rate. That shit looks super fucking accurate. Shit was like scary.
You know what's
send that man to jail.
You know what's scary? Like we could like unironically alter human history. Like right now.
1000%. It's fucking
like
it's
what
scary.
do you even say when like something pops up like that?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Before we get too far away from it, because it was when it got brought up, Balvin mentioned that the initial person who said like, oh, let's do the AI modded voice thing, pointed out that, oh, well, this is going to be good for modders and shit like that. If I've learned anything from AI artists and crypto bros and NFT people, it's that if you were doing something that you know is incredibly heinous, be super over positive with it. So that way anyone who gets mad about it looks like the bad guy. Because they all do that shit. I see that so much with NFTs and AI artists where they're just like the most overly positive people you've ever seen. Like, I'm just so happy with this community. It's so nice. Everyone in here's great. Yada yada. So when you're like, hey, you're doing some real fucked up shit, you look weird.
If we're being honest,
why are you
we know
killing
it's
the
gonna be
vibes,
used
bro?
for porn first, more than anything.
I hate
it
that
already
toxic
has been.
positivity shit, bro.
Yes.
But
Because you know half the reason they're being overly positive is because they know they're being pieces of shit. Like, yeah.
Well, the crazy thing is that like some companies are actually using it because I don't know if you guys were aware of this, and I feel like I can talk about this like spoilers because the show has been out for like over a year now. But Kenobi, I don't know if you guys watched the Obi-Wan Kenobi show.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Well, Darth Vader is in the show, right?
Oh, I know.
Darth Vader is not voiced by James Earl Jones in that.
Right.
But it is his voice. It's an AI. It's called Respeecher, and it's a thing that Disney is using. Now, mind you, this was done justified because they have a contract with him, but that whole fucking show is AI. Like, not the whole show, but his voice.
That's wild.
Like, the fact that you can't even get out of a contract in death is just so disgusting.
No. Here's the thing. I think they actually paid him. I think they were like, hey, we want to use your voice.
So they put a check on his.
Exactly. They're like, this will literally like go to your next of kin or whatever. Mind you, this is all assumption because the Darth Vader voice is so iconic that they were like, well, we want to keep it. And it seems,
that's nuts.
It's fucking scary because like you think of like it can literally just match. Oh fuck, my bad, Lotus. They can literally just match voices like word like. They could take somebody who's dead, for example, all right?
Yeah,
and
they have
match their voice perfectly and like make them out. Because you think about how many times in the past have people come out with a clip of like, oh look, we have a recording of what this person said. He's actually an asshole because of this and that and this and that. Like they could literally do that to anybody in history, and it's like you will not know what to believe anymore because it's so convincing. They could just take somebody. All right, I'm gonna just worst case scenario. What if they took like they can match Martin Luther King's voice and make.
Why did I know you were gonna bring up MLK of all people?
Can I clarify real fast?
Look, we have a recording. Look what he actually fucking said.
Can I clarify real fast? James Earl Jones is not dead, by the way.
Yeah,
guys.
I was gonna
I
say
think,
that.
He's not dead. That's what I'm saying. He is retired.
I think
he
Omega
is like
said.
a 93-year-old man.
Omega
I
killed.
thought the nigga died. Like,
Omega killed that nigga, bro.
I thought he passed away too.
He just turned 93 like 2 weeks ago. But he is retired, and he didn't want to do the Darth Vader voice anymore. So I'm sure that he signed some deal with Disney where they are allowed to use his voice and Reese feature. And by the way, the same is for Mark Hamill, if you didn't know that. Because in the Boba Fett show, he came back, but Luke came back, and his face is deep faked, and his voice is not his voice.
That wasn't Mark Hamill's voice?
No, that was also AI technology.
That's crazy.
I knew he was deep faked, but I didn't know they. So it wasn't Luke.
They need to police that shit because
So this is what's gonna happen too. Like, I feel like obviously there's a billion like negative outcomes of AI.
Yeah.
But what do you think? Because I used to work. Dino's gonna roll his eyes. Here we go. I used to work in the game industry. It's a lot of fucking work. It's a lot of like.
I roll my eyes.
It's like a small cog in the fucking machine. So like the amount of work and effort it takes is insane. And I'm not even saying like this is a good thing that AI could be used on. But, like when it comes to like those crazy hours that like you could get an AI to do,
like for
what
crunch.
do you guys think about that? Like, do you
why
think,
would I roll my eyes?
like no, because whenever I say like I worked at 2K, it's like, oh, here we go with the I worked at 2K.
No, I make fun of you for being vegan, not for 2K.
Bro, you can make fun of me for anything.
Don't worry, I'll
You
do it.
bitch.
Oh, this guy worked at 2K.
So anyways, to answer your question, I think there's good that can come out of anything. Like there's a lot of good that can come from AI for sure. But it is also very scary and dangerous, and like we gotta have something in place to regulate something like that because it's just way too much power in AI.
I'm gonna be too far gone at some point.
The problem is we need to police technology. Period.
You know what's
whether it's cybersecurity, AI, all this deepfake shit, we need to police that somehow. And and no one's like.
Our internet laws themselves aren't even caught up yet. Like we're so far behind for DMCA and shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah, that's what it needs to come down to, just laws for it.
Well, here's the crazy part, because like people don't realize how crazy the voice AI has gotten. I literally saw a fucking YouTube short the other day.
I'm someone who didn't realize because like people's
it's
entire
worse than you fucking think.
voice acting, not even being real people, is news to me.
Dude, it's worse than you think, because literally I saw a YouTube short of a guy that found a website. I'm not gonna fucking name it because why the fuck would I do that? And he just said he read an excerpt from like a book of how he would normally read it. Like he'd just be like, oh yes, so and so went to the store and blah blah blah, and he just did that for like 30 seconds, and then he just typed whatever he wanted, and it would repeat his voice, no artifacting, just sounds like him. But the shit that's wild is you can adjust the stability and how the diction can be.
Yeah. See, like
the thing is, like, auto tune on crack.
The AI literally breathed. It literally went. It's like, hi there, how's it going?
The thing is, like, something like that is so great because let's say somebody like couldn't like speak or whatever and had to like. And like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of great uses for that. But then there's also like, oh, a business can save money by not paying actual talent just by doing this AI thing. Then like it has so many negative implications too. Like all the positive stuff just gets outweighed.
My first experience with like the voice AI shit was somebody linked me a Playboy Cardi song once. And I played it and I was like, yo, this shit kind of fire or whatever. Like this some new shit. It's some, you know, it's very common for like leaks and unreleased and all this, whatever. And then come to find out it wasn't even really Playboy Cardi. It was some AI shit. I was like, what the fuck? And at first I was like, yo, this is kind of cool, right? I'm bumping the song and I was like, how the fuck? Yo, that shit kind of weird. So I'm like, if we can do stuff like this, and this technology is obviously going to grow, and very clearly it has way more than I realized, it gets to the point, and obviously we've already discussed way worse things, but like you have artists like, for example, like X or Juice WRLD who are passed away. They're still coming out with albums that aren't even actually done. It's all AI and shit.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Bro,
okay,
that shit's so crazy.
I had a thought. I'm sorry, I had a thought just now, and like I know it's fucked up, but it's just a thing that entered my head, and I don't have a positive or negative feeling, but I just want to share it with you guys. My grandpa died like 15 years ago, but we have old recordings of him talking. Like I could have a convo with my grandpa kinda again. Isn't that fucking weird to think about? Like that, like my brain's going through it. Like that's not right. Like that could be really bad. I don't know. Like there's just a lot.
they can take the hologram of Tupac, get his voice, act like, yo, what's good, Godzilla, and do some shit like he's not even there.
Imagine how music would go
crazy.
though too. Because like you know how
see
contracts
like
are.
that happening.
Like you know how contracts are in music now. Like imagine it's like you're signing legitimately your life away. Like when in death,
I mean, some people do. That's why you still get all these posthumous albums and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. Because like I don't know the details like said the artist I spoke of, right? But like Juice and X, they both have had posthumous albums come out. The labels clearly still have rights to their music and their likenesses and stuff. That's why like these documentaries and music videos and all this shit are still coming out. And like if they really want to milk it even more, because I don't believe that, let's say for those two specifically, that so far the label has dropped shit that wasn't actually them and is AI generated. There's a lot of those songs that come out, I heard them already before they before those albums came out. But if they really want to, they can do that shit.
Bro, and I mentioned the game thing possibly being like a good thing, but like the way it's looking, there could come a time where somebody makes an entire, like the whole game, they didn't hire any voice actors, they didn't like code anything. Dude, they literally just had an AI make an entire fucking game.
The thing is, that's cool for like the one. That's cool for the one guy in the basement who just has a passion but no money. But it's bad because like EA's gonna do that.
Then it's cool.
Like
if you're just like.
The problem is that if the big corporations like Ubisoft or EA start doing that, and now all of a sudden hundreds and hundreds of people start losing their jobs.
Know for a fact, like 9 AAA titles a fucking like year or some shit.
You know for a fact Ubisoft would be the first to do that.
Absolutely.
How quickly do we think something like that happens though? Because you could take a look at, let's say, you know how like McDonald's has like kiosks and shit now, it's like all those touch screens and stuff. But like McDonald's still has workers, but like we could definitely have
police. I think it like potentially it could happen like within the next.
It could be
years.
soon.
There's already a game thing out.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think like if Ubisoft like could do it logistically, they would do it right now. Like no question asked.
Dude, I feel like Ubisoft will announce a game at the end of the year that will be like that because they were like a few months late to the NFTs, and by the time they got into it, NFTs were all on fire, which good.
The NFT wave was crazy.
That was seeing people.
Okay. Hold on. Let me ask you a question about morale here. Okay. Picture a company does do this AI bullshit, right? Or they don't pay anybody, they just like completely just build it from the ground up, but it's a game that you like. It's something you've been waiting for.
Like what?
Naruto Fighters.
I don't know, fucking Naruto Fighters, Spider-Man 2, any game you're waiting for, the next God of War. What do you do at that point? Because at that point, it's like shit.
I don't buy it.
I don't buy it.
But do you actually not buy it?
No, because
this is what it's gonna be. This is what it's gonna be. It's gonna be similar, different but similar to. I think basically people are gonna have a lot more morale calls when it comes to the purchases of video games and certain titles. You're gonna get a lot more like ethic call outs, like.
I mean, we're already there.
Y'all saying morale or moral?
I was gonna segue into that. I was gonna say like we're already kind of there. But,
I don't even think it's a morality thing with the AI thing. I just think that like, for example, if Persona 6 was made exclusively by all AI, like, I just don't think that shit is gonna hit the same. And like, I don't want.
You know what?
Well, yeah, if it was made in like the next couple of years, but with how fast this technology is progressing
like,
and how good it is getting, like if in like 3 or 4 years, you know what I'm saying, there's a completely AI generated Persona game.
Scripts and shit, you know what I mean? Like it's
like,
again, it was small when people are like, "Hey, AI, type my entire paper and make it sound like me or whatever the fuck."
That is actually a thing.
That is a thing.
That's the thing. That's the whole script of a game.
The paper shit. Yeah, I've seen that. You have AI write a paper for you.
Yeah, like I'm saying, like, what if you get Drama Fighters 2, Psychonauts 3, like games that you like actually love and they're good?
Okay.
What do you do in the situation? Do you like, oh fuck it, it's fair game, I'm supporting it.
As influencers, that's our job to kind of make sure we don't let gaming go in that direction.
I feel like me personally, I'm not.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not gonna cop that shit because I don't want to send the signal that I want like Atlas to start doing that with every Persona game. Like I don't want to let them know that I'm okay with them doing that shit.
Also,
so I would not.
So here's the thing, though, right?
They don't have to tell us. Like they can do that whole thing.
That's what I was gonna say.
Policing. They don't have to give a disclaimer like, "Hey, this was made by AI." They could sell it to us.
But if you're saying that though, then there is no conversation because if I don't know, I mean, I can't do nothing about it.
I'm just saying because you're saying like it won't be as good. You're saying it won't be as good, but like I'm saying like, what if you get it? That shit's like fire, And then
they say after the fact.
Like,
No, but
yeah,
but I think the question,
That-
like, the question is like,
and like
if
you've
we do
already
know,
went through like your whole dick riding phase on
hold on,
Twitter
but what
and
you're
shit.
asking me right now is like, what if a meteor starts hitting the Earth? Like, nigga, die? I guess.
That,
Like,
'cause
what?
this is
All right.
that could genuinely
all right.
happen.
But okay, but what do you want me to
But
do? Like,
you can't do anything.
Here's what I would do. Here's what I would do. All right.